everyone. Today, exact 20 September, exactly from last week, I got an assignment from my lecturer to make a recording task containing what is language from page 1 until 14 in the book. Okay, firstly, I will introduce myself. My name is Vincent. I'm from English Language and Culture Department, Semester 3, P1 class. When we talk about language, the first thing that comes to my mind is communicating with people. Language is a tool or a system used to communicate with people. I think communicating can be done for all living creatures such as humans and animals. Why did I include the animal? Because in my opinion, animals of course have a way to communicating. For example, like cats, they will meow at other cats to communicate with each other. But other people say language is only for human because none of animals known to have a system of communication with complexity that in any way is comparable to language. Okay, back to our main topic. Language is a tool for talking to each other. This language is divided into two. First is a spoken language and the second is a sign language. For spoken language is the most common form of human communication using sounds, speech to convey meaning. Spoken language are made up of phonemes which combine to form words and sentences. Spoken language often follows specific grammatical rules, and these rules can vary greatly between language. Subject, verb, object, word order. In here, I have the example. For example, is I'm going to the store. In here, I am is the subject, and the verb is going to. The going to is a verb, and the store is the object. The other example is Vincent ate a cereal. Vincent is a subject, and ate is the verb, and the cereal is the object. Okay, for the second one is sign language. Sign language is a visual language that uses hand gestures, facial expression, and body movements to convey the meaning. It is primarily used by deaf and hard of hearing individuals, but anyone can learn and use this one. Its country or region often has its own version of sign language, and it is a fully developed language system. In here, I will take the example from my country, that is Indonesian sign language. Like in Indonesian sign language, how to you say hello is raise your one hand and the palm facing outward like this, and wave the hand like this. And the second example is when you say thank you. When you say thank you, you place the your fingertips on one of your one hand on your chin and move it slightly outward like this. Mm. And mm, and to say sorry in an Indonesian sign language, you need to make a fist with one hand and rub it in the circle motion on your chest like this. So that is a 3 example from Indonesian sign language. That is a hello, thank you, sorry. I will show you some example of language used to express emotions. I can laugh when I'm happy, but I can also laugh when I disrespect with something. For example, when I hear something, a good news, or maybe something funny, I will laugh with very happy. But for this disrespect, the example when I hear my friend, he or she get something new, maybe a new car, and he or she say, I get this from my father, and this is a very expensive car. I will laugh like I will laugh like that because I show my disrespect for that. Okay, the next is a double articulation. This one is refers to a linguistic phenomenon where a language has 2 levels of structure. There are phonemic level and the other one is word level. This concept highlights how language can combine a limited number of sounds to produce a vast array of words and meanings, allowing for complex communication. Okay, the next one is a syntax. Syntax is the set of rules and principles that govern the structure of sentence in a language. It determines how words combine to form phrases, clauses, and complete sentences function of language. This function highlight the versatility of language in communication, enabling us to convey not just information but also emotion, relationship, and artistic expression. When we use language for writing letters, gossiping with friends, making speeches, and talking to ourselves in front of the mirror. The next one is a micro function of language. First is a physiological function. This refers to how language engages our physical capabilities such as speech production and comprehension. For the example is articulating words requires control of the vocal cords and mouth muscle. The second is a pathetic function. Language used to establish or maintain social connection rather they convey specific information. For the example is a small talk, like saying how are you today to initiate a conversation. And the third is a recording function. Language serves as a medium for documenting information, events, and thought, preserving them for future reference. For the example is writing in a journal or to record daily experiences or thought. For the next, for a identifying function, Language help individuals express and identify their social, cultural, or personal identities. For the example is using regional slang or dialects that signal one's geographical or social background maybe. The fifth is a reasoning function. Language enables logical thinking and the expression of arguments, facilitating problem solving and decision making. For the example is a constructing a logical argument in a debate to persuade others. The sixth is communicating function. The primary purpose of language, enabling individuals to convey message, ideas, and emotion. For the example is sending a text message to a friend to share plans for the weekend or the next hangout maybe. The seventh is a pleasure function. Language is used for enjoyment, creativity, and aesthetic expression, such as in poetry or storytelling. For the example is reading a novel for enjoyment or writing a poem for a creative expression. Okay, next is a macro function. First, intentional function. This function focuses on conveying information and representing ideas, experiences, and concepts. It is about the content of communication. For the example, describing a scientific process, such as explaining a photosynthesis in a biology class. The second is a interpersonal function. Language serves to establish and maintain social relationship, expressing attitudes, emotions, and social roles. For the example is using polite language like saying, "Could you please help me to make a request in a respectful manner?" And the third is a poetic function. This function emphasizes the aesthetic and creative aspect of language, focusing on form, sound, and the use of figurative language. And the fourth is a textual function. Language is used to organize and structure discourse, creating coherence and cohesion within text. It helps to guide the reader or listener through the information presented. For the example is using headings and bullet points in a report to clearly organize information and make it easy to follow. The language overview. Language is a complex system of communication that enables humans to express their thoughts, emotions, and their ideas. It encompasses spoken, written, and sight forms, and is fundamental to social interaction, culture, and identity. Language science. Language science consists of two components, the signifier and the signified. For example, the word tree as a signifier evokes the idea of a tree from signified. The next is a types of language signs. First is iconic signs. These resemble authority, represent their meaning. The next is a indexical sign. These have a direct connection to what they signify, often through causation or association. For instance, smoke indicates fire. The third is a symbolic signs. These have an arbitrary relationship between the signifier and the signified. Words in a language are mostly symbolic, as their meaning are established by convention. For the example is the word cat does not resemble a cat but is universally understood to refer to one. When you're talking about the language, of course, you have the other language beside your first language. Okay, let me explain the first language first. First language is the language a person learns from their birth or early childhood. It is often the primary means of communication within a family and community. Next is a second language. A second language is any language learned after the first language, and this can occur in various contexts, like such as a formal education when you come to school, immersion, or personal interests. Um, what is a linguistic? Linguistic is the scientific study of language and its structure. It encompasses with various aspects of language, including its form, meaning, and a context. The scientific nature of linguistics lies in its use of empirical data, systematic method, and theoretical frameworks to study language. This approach not only enhances our understanding of language itself, but also its relationship to human cognition and the society. When talking about the linguistic, I remembered my lecture teachings about verb, noun, adjective, adverb, and adverb. He told us to combine these four parts into one sentence. Before I give an example, I will explain about the adverb, adjective, as well as the verbs and nouns too. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. There is an object. Okay. The verb expresses an action or a state of being. The examples like run. Adjective in here is for describe or modifies a noun, providing more detail. Adverb in here to modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb, often indicating manner, degree, or time. Alright, this is the example of combine the four part, that is adjective, adverb, subject, and subject or noun, and verb. Here, a beautiful girl walks slowly today. So, this adverb is describe the verb, that is walk slowly, describe the walk. And in here, the adjective is describe the noun or the subject. But in here, this is noun. Adjective is describe the noun. The beautiful describe the girls. So this is today is optional. That is adverb time. So this is the example of combine the four part adverb, adjective, a noun, and verb. That's all from me. For this opportunity, I will say thank you.